Hi everybody. So I just got home from Louisville. My mom's been in the hospital, but my husband's been hard at work. This is part 2. Tell us what you've been up to.
So I've been at it for quite a number of days now. I put a lot of time in this with the planning and then the execution. So let me walk you through under the hood here. Okay, so right here we have our onboard air and our wiring for that. Okay, and then on this side we have a custom fabricated power block panel here. This is for accessory power. So I fabricated this shelf out of 1/8 inch aluminum plating.
And people can see that in part 1.
Yes, and so I have winch cutoff switch. We have our switches for our electronics, lighting, and the onboard air. This is just a breaker for that. This is my relays for the air compressor. This is for the daylight running lights. So these automatically turn on when for the accessory lights, automatically turn on when the ignition is on. And then I have a negative and positive bus bars there to keep everything neat and tidy. Okay, so we close this down and we step back just a little bit. This is what I was doing. So we have some road shock edge lights. These are high and low floodlights with a driving light in those. We have these are Auxbeam lights. These are 3-inch lights right here on each side. This is a Westin mid-width bumper for Sprinter vans. This holds a winch. I have a 12,000 pound pull rating Badland winch, and the hook, all of that. There's a skid plate I have not put on yet, but there's a skid plate that goes under here. We have our onboard air port right here, so I can plug in a hose and air up the tires with this. And if you want to just now step back so people can see the whole van right here, I'll go in, I'll crank it up.
Oh,
we'll see it in action.
All right. I've been gone for 8 days.
Our running lights automatically came on. Running lights here, running lights down here. And I have this Auxbeam switch panel. So this is pretty cool. It's a remote control. So check this out, okay? So here are our winch bumper lights. Here's low beam of the larger road shock edge lights, low beam. This is high beam, and this is the winch. Excuse me. This is the air compressor. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
Well, if you get up there, your microphone will help them hear it.
But the air compressor is now on. That's running. So there's spare to this port here. Now it's off.
Oh, so I can put my exercise ball on that and you can fill it up with, or all my little floaties and stuff?
Fill up anything that needs air, right? we'll use this for
bikes,
for tires, so we can air down our tires, and then we'll have a way to air those back up again. You would want to air them down to a lower pressure when we're driving on gravel roads and off-road and that kind of thing. And then we can air them back up when we hit the highway. And we have our lights because I'm 55 and I don't see as well at night as I used to. So these are not for on the road, but these are for off-road. When we are off-road, like just, you know, like mildly off-road, searching for a campsite, something like that, we'll have a better field of vision with these lights and the lights down here. And again, nose, high beam. Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's see it. I want to see in the, can we see in the, inside the engine again? Can you open it up again?
Pop the hood?
Yeah, pop the hood. Sorry, you guys, I've been on the road for 8 days helping my mom who's been in the hospital, so my brain's not working. All right.
There you go.
So, just getting a few pictures. So, do you want to say anything about the assembly or challenges that you experienced before I end the video? I think people might be interested, like, was it hard? Was it easy? Like, what reflections would you do differently?
This was surprisingly easy. So, but I planned this out. I measured very carefully. I originally used a cardboard cutout, and everything fit together well on this. I did change some things as I went, so I went to a less complicated auxiliary switch. This is an accessory switch right here. So basically how this works is when accessory power is on, i.e. when the engine is on, then this powers up. But if the engine's turned off, this powers down. Same with this switch here. But this is designed that way. This one is too. And this one, are you taking a video?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one, I changed my plans. I had a different style, and I went to this more compact version of this. This was a little bit more plug and play, and I decided that I didn't need a very robust, high amperage panel for these driver's lights because the daytime running lights draw very, very little amperage. So each of the fuses in here are 5 amps, and that's more than enough to run.
Anything else you want everybody to know about your project?
So I had to, I looked at the instructions for Westin's bumper install, and there are cut instructions because this bumper had to be removed and cut, okay? And there are pieces of it over here now. This is the piece that I cut out of there. Okay, so their instructions were wrong, and when I started looking at that and measuring, I knew they were wrong. And it's a good thing that I recognized that they were wrong because they would have had me cutting the bumper way too wide. It would have been, the instructions had it cutting way out here.
Oh,
and
no.
There would have been huge gaps between the bumper and the winch bumper and the stock bumper. So, but you can see it's all really neat, and you can't really see any gaps anywhere. It's not cut too big. It's cut just right. But I had to contact Westin, and I said, hey, I called them actually last, I guess it was last Saturday, and I said, hey, your instructions are wrong. I know they're wrong. It's got me cutting way too wide. And so they were like sending some pictures, so I did of how wide they wanted the bumper cut. And he said, customer service guy, said, I'll get with our engineers. So I had to wait for the engineers to go back, remeasure, and give me the correct dimensions for the cut.
Oh, aren't you glad you did that?
I am.
So it's like a warning to anybody who's getting the Westin automatic.
Oh, the Westin mid-width winch bumper for Sprinter vans. Yeah, so I would have been so mad had I cut this very expensive bumper wrong and had to buy a new one of these, because these are, I don't know, these are like $400 or $500 for these things. So it would have been a very, very costly mistake.
Wow.
So yeah, but yeah, everything went in. It went in really nice and tight. I will say this about the Westin bumper, and I'll point this out to them when I'm going to send them pictures of this now that it's done, and let them know that their new revised cut instructions were correct. But I'll say this: this is a little plastic piece that says Westin on it, and it's designed to sit back here and poke through, so that this is gray and it stands out. I took that out, and the reason that I took that out is everything fits in here so tight. This makes a really nice window to be able to look at the rope inside of the bumper. I don't know if you can see it right now because it's dark, but you can see in the daylight you'll be able to see the winch rope, and that's important because you want it to spool on when it's winding back on. You want it to wind on very evenly back and forth. It can't bunch up in one side. If it bunches up, it will bind up and it will be hopelessly bound up, and basically you'll have to disassemble everything to fix it, right? So that's really important to be able to see that winch rope and make sure that it's spooling back on correctly.
Okay, I'm glad I asked you if there's anything else. Because we're going to save people hundreds of dollars with this video. Is there anything else?
Yeah, there's more stuff. So
give some money-saving tips to get people worth their while.
While I showed you let me get the remote. We can hear it even better now. Okay, while I showed you that and claimed it to be functional, it is not right now, because there are two 3/8 NPT ports right here. I'm sticking my fingers in those right now. Those are open. This is kind of a new product too for Sprinter vans. This is Viair's dual compressor setup, and I liked it mostly because of economics. It's a lot less expensive than ARB's model. ARB's has been around, it's tried and true. It's been around for a decade probably. But this is a brand new product that they just put out, and they put this parts package together specifically for Sprinter vans, and they thought for some reason that these two hose ports here were 3/8, and they are not. These are 1/4 NPTs. So I'm left with nothing is 3/8 NPT that fits in there. So I actually had to order from Amazon some 3/8 NPT plugs that I still need to mount in there, so that all that is airtight. Once it's airtight, then air will get to this port. But right now, air's just escaping out of those two huge holes in the top of the manifold.
I just want to say to the companies that are watching this video right now, if you want to sponsor my husband, Shannon, give us a contact. Thanks, babe.
Okay, well, a quick update here. So I'm installing a Westin winch bumper on the Sprinter. It's a 2024 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van, and I ran into some problems almost right away, and that is Westin's cut instructions for the bumper are wrong. I realized that before I even started cutting, just while I was measuring, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so here is the front of the van, and what I've done is I've marked with blue painter's tape where Westin's instructions say to cut. These are the, like, if you can see right there, and also on this side right there, that is where Westin says, according to their instructions, to cut based on their instructions to measure from this reference point and this reference point, which are, let's see if that goes back in focus, which are the edges of the front license plate bump out, and you're to measure 45 centimeters. So from there to there, that's 45 centimeters. And that is way too far. So where we actually want to cut is somewhere right around here. So you can see that's a long ways from there. If I were to cut way over here, I would have a huge hole in the bumper that would not be concealed by the winch bumper. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to walk you over here. So I'm going to start by measuring the distance from here to here. That's 108 centimeters. And so I know then from the center of the bumper, right there, that little center mold, I know that from there, 54 centimeters in either direction is the minimum cutout area. I may want to cut more or may need to cut more to have some clearance, but I know that it's at least that. So I'm going to measure that out, and then we're going to check and see if that looks better. Okay, we're back a few minutes later. So here's what I did. I decided to go just a little bit more than 108 centimeters from the center. And what that means, this is 53 centimeters from here to there, so 27 and a half. And then I went another 28 millimeters out to here. And you can see where I marked my cut line from the bottom there. So I know this measurement. This measurement is 5.5 centimeters from this point to there. And then I knew these measurements. This is 10 centimeters down. This is 1.5 centimeters up from this ridge right here. So I measured that, and that gets me just above this cutout here, this pop out piece. This is where the factory tow hook is. This looks very similar now to the photo that's in the instructions. I'll show you that. There's the photo. These are the cut lines, and you can see just in this little light gray, that's that box there. That is the tow hook cutout right here. So it looks good. I don't know if it's right or not, but the point is that if it's not right, it's smaller than where I need to cut, which is good, because I can always cut more, but I can't put back on what I've already cut off. So as I say, measure twice, cut once. And I don't know if my measurements are right, but I may have to cut more than once. But that's okay as long as I'm cutting more off and not cutting too much off. So that's where I'm at. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this whole front bumper off, and there are screws up here. There's a screw. There's one over there. There's some more fasteners all around. I think there are 4 behind the fender well right there. There are 4 along the bottom, and there are 4 on this side, and then I think there are a couple more. I'm gonna have to look back at the instructions, maybe even look at some other brand bumper installations and removals just to figure out where they are. But that's the next step here. Okay, well, I've got the front fascia off, the plastic bumper and the grill. All of that is removed now. So what I'm left with is this crash bar right here. This is going to come off, and then this is the camera mounts right here, front camera, and down here is a sensor. This is for the active cruise control, and that sensor, I've already removed that. This is the little plug for that. This whole bracket comes out, so this is gonna, we're not gonna use this again, so I'm gonna disconnect this up here and pull this out, and then I'm also going to take these bolts off and on both sides here, and we're going to get rid of this. This is going to expose this tow hook mount right here, and we're going to cut off part of that, and then we're going to be ready to start mounting stuff. So that's the next steps.